This is chapter 4. These are the notes here. Okay. We have how to handle ribs, take care of ribs. As you can see, different types of method. We have the flat chest, how to prepare for it. We have embedded object in the person, how we have prepared for it. We have the open chest injuries, and how to prepare the sucking chest wound. We have the abdominal injury, a closed abdominal injury. That's how you prepare for it. We have an open abdominal injury, how to prepare for it. As you can see, it's been cut and paste. Okay, the next slide. We have it where a person is a pelvic, how to deal with a pelvic injury. So, that concludes that was chapter 4, and that was chapter 13. We have, of course, what to assess for in an injury, the non-injury person, and the illness right there on chapter 4. The next one we have is chapter 14, and it deals with bone, joint, and muscle injuries. As you can see, we have a closed fracture, how to prepare a closed fracture. We have down here, we have the different types of fractures that we must contend with. Excuse me just a minute. Okay. On to the next page. We have dislocation. How do you prepare for it? What to look for. The different types of joint dislocation. We have a chart on how to prepare to serve a person that has bone injury. Of course, these are the what to look for in a bone injury. Okay. We have checking CSM for upper extremity. As you can see, this is the steps that is necessary to take for checking for the CM, and you're checking for circulation, sensation, and movement. Okay. This is how you would check for a lower extremity. Pinch to make sure they're feeling something after they close their eyes. And, of course, wiggling their feet. This is a sprain. This is what you do for a sprain. You definitely would have to secure it to make sure that it doesn't do more harm than good. You will look for discoloration. You look for tenderness. It says that most don't require surgery, but you do have to apply the Rice method, making sure that they're resting and elevating. Of course, we have muscle cramps, which is a tightening of the muscles. Okay. We have muscle strain. Right here, we have how to do muscle strain and what to do for muscle strain. Okay, we also have now here a chart of the bone injuries on how to do the bone injuries. Okay, that is chapter 14. Let's go on to chapter 15. Chapter 15 asks that we do assessment of the Rice, which is the resting of the foot, which is the putting on the ice. And of course, it says that we put it on at certain times. As you can see, is every 20 minutes for every 3 hours for 48 hours. As you can see, they're wrapping it after they put the ice on it. The next thing is compression. You want to wrap the ankle to make sure that it's not going to be swollen and don't make it too tight. And of course, you want to make sure that you're elevating the foot. Okay. Here's what we have: the different types of elbows, fractures, and dislocation. We have the tennis elbow, which a lot of people are aware of. It doesn't come from tennis, but it just comes from an excessive amount of use on that one particular. As you can see, we have the different types, the golfer's elbow. Okay. And what to care. All right, on to the last one. This is chapter 16. Again, we have a full description of what a splint guidelines are. We have what is a sling. We see what is a sling. We have how to prepare for a sling. We have on this one, we have how to prepare an arm sling and how to use it and what is it used for. Okay, these are the different types of arm slings that you can use. You have the button jacket, you have the belt tie, the necktie. So those are other ways you can. All right, the next one is humerus. This is how you would do a slinging. And humerus, as you can see, you put a sandboard on it, secure it, put it down. So as you can see, okay, the next one is what you do for an bent elbow. Of course, you would not attempt to straighten it out. You would secure it in place and while it's still folded. And not only you would secure it in place, but you use a sling to make sure. All right, the next one is slinging elbow in a right position. This is how to put on a sling position with a elbow. Okay. All righty. Next, we have apply a rigid splint on forearm. As you can see, the hands are out so you can make sure that you be able to check for circulation. Not too tight, but you will put a board underneath. Next, of course, this is how you would bandage it up afterwards. You add a sling to a sling, or one that's close or one that's far apart like that. The next one, this is applying a splint on a forearm. This is the method that you would take to apply for a forearm. Okay. You notice the main object is to secure the damaged limb. Next, we have how do you a splint for a leg that's in a knee and that's found in the knee. If the knee is bent and if the knee is straight, you want to not pull the leg out. Okay. The next one is straightening a knee in a straight position. As you can see, you try to not to move the knee as possible. You secure it and make sure that it's not moving. Okay, here's for an ankle on the foot. You want to apply a pad underneath the ankle to support it. You want to make sure it keeps elevated and to help with the swelling. Next one is splinting a knee in a bent position. Again, you do not stretch it out. You secure it by having an extended board and you tie it around, but not at the knee. Do not tie it at the knee. Okay, the next one, we are splinting. Continue to splint a board. Continue to splint a person that has a bent knee. Again, you do not want to stretch it out. The next one is splinting a leg lower level. As you can see, it's different ways you can do it. You can tie them together, which will give them support. As she's doing right here, tying it together, and as you can see, it's stable, so it doesn't move. And then, of course, the other way with a rigid splint, you tie the leg separate, but it's secure with a splint underneath of it, which gives it some movement, but not enough to do more harm than good. Okay. As we are getting down to the last one, this is a sprint leg straight splint. Again, just keep the leg as stable as you possibly can. But if it's bent in any part of the body that's bent, you want to make sure that you do not stretch it out. You want to follow the protocols of assessment, whether it be DOT or whether it be sample. But those are the ways that you would test for an open wound, just as you would test for injuries, extremities injuries. Thank you.